I was born in Tampa and grew up in West Tampa. It was a custom of my family to come to Anna Maria Island for 2 weeks every summer. And we did that until I was 10. And then my parents bought a old house in Anna Maria with the expectation that they would fix it up and retire in it. This made it possible for us to spend much longer summers in Anna Maria and also all of the holidays and every other chance we could. So all my free time really was associated with Anna Maria Island, Tampa Bay, Egmont Key, the Gulf of Mexico, and waters south. And the friends I made were people who liked to fish, basically. More than once, there have been proposals to take wastewater, whether it was industrial or municipal, and pump it offshore as a disposal method. That's actually done in Broward County and a few other southeast counties, creating tremendous algae blooms and smothering of coral reefs and so forth. But they're only a half a mile to a mile away from the Gulf Stream, and the dilution factor is enormous. It's very deep, too. And all of that stuff goes up the coast somewhere. The west coast is extremely shallow. You can go 50 miles offshore and be in 60 feet of water. There was always resistance to the idea of using an offshore disposal because once you've got the pipe out there, all you need are bigger pumps. And you could just keep pumping more and more stuff out there. And it got very close in the 80s to actually happen off Pinellas County. That county had a very independent streak. They were sort of like the Texas of Florida. They were pushing hard for a pipe to go out into the Gulf of Mexico, and the lab agreed to do the science. It wasn't our role to make a decision. The regulatory agencies would use the data and make a decision, and they decided there's no way to put a pipe out there. But it was like the studies we had done in rivers and bays, except that it was out in the Gulf of Mexico quite a distance. Sarasota Bay joined the National Estuary Program. That sewer plant for the city of Sarasota was the reason. EPA found the city of Sarasota in violation of the Clean Water Act for putting its effluent in Whitaker Bayou, and fined the city, or intended to fine the city, I think $80,000, and also compel them to clean up their act. Well, the city had a lobbyist and an attorney in Washington, D.C., who was really very clever, and he said, look, instead of fining the city $80,000, how about if the city uses the $80,000 and Sarasota Bay joins the National Estuary Program, because he knew that would open the Sarasota area to the infusion of a lot of federal money under the Clean Water Act for National Estuary Programs. And the Department of Justice said, well, that's up to EPA, you know, they're the ones who admit estuaries, and you're going to have to apply and go through that route. And so I was recruited to write the state of Florida's nomination of Sarasota Bay to EPA for designating Sarasota Bay to the estuary program, which I did. It involved working closely with people in EPA, but I had studied the other estuaries in the nation that were in the program, and they were all severely polluted. And I thought, well, Sarasota Bay, you know, is a tiny little bay. It's really not that much distinctive about it. Compared to Tampa Bay or the Indian River Lagoon, it didn't have the most number of species of any estuary in the nation. Tampa Bay is Florida's largest estuary. It was a big port. It was important economically. And so I pitched Sarasota Bay as an example of an estuary, an American estuary that was affected more by overuse than by industrial pollution or municipal pollution or ports or power plants or commercial fishing or things like that. So I cast it more as an urbanizing estuary that had lots of conflicting soft uses. And it was different for that reason, and so it should be part of the NEP. And EPA said okay, because they had made a deal with Justice, I think. So we joined the estuary program.